Among students, there are many mistakes that a lot of students are doing on everyday basis, and unfortunately they are doing these blunders repeatedly, which is making their career directionless. Alright, so in this video we are going to discuss the 9 common mistakes that students make which cost them a lot of time, money and mental peace. So I suggest you to write down all these points in a notebook or a notepad so that you can avoid doing the same. But before begin this video, if you are one of those students who are preparing for UGC-NET or GATE in English Literature, then you can simply check out our smart study material where we will provide you with the guidance, video lectures and everything that is required for you to crack the competitive exam in literature. Check the link in the description below to know more about our books and courses. And now without any further ado, let's begin with this video. The number one mistake is that students are preparing for 2 competitive exams simultaneously. You are preparing for UGC-NET English Literature and then side by side you are also preparing for SSC exams for something which does not have the same syllabus. UGC-NET also requires 4 to 5 hours of regular studies, or sometimes it requires more time if you are self-studying everything without any guidance. Therefore, you cannot think of preparing any other competitive examination side by side. Even if you are preparing for PGT or TGT English Literature, give full time to these competitive exams like TGT, PGT. Do not juggle between 2-3 competitive exams. Keep one target and give at least 6 to 8 months of time preparing for the same examination. The second mistake is overly relying on the suggestions of seniors, professors, YouTubers. So everyone has advice to give you, you should study contemporary literature. UGC-NET is asking questions from Indian literature. My college professor recommended me this book to study, that this topic to study. These all are the things that I must study as per my guidance from a senior. These all are the mistakes that you are relying heavily on rather than creating your own study table, your own timetable. You are relying on others. Alright. So that is the mistake. So cracking NET is so simple. You study 4 to 5 hours every day consistently, no matter whatever the book you are referring. William J. Long, David Duchess, doesn't matter. The important is not the books but your overall knowledge of literature as a whole. There are students who refer to Wikipedia and they have cracked the NET examination. I have never referred to Wikipedia. I don't like studying from a computer or desktop, so my learning came from reading books and making notes from them. Sources does not matter whether it is YouTube, Wikipedia, William J. Long, David Duchess. The things, it never matters. The thing that matters most is your overall knowledge of the subject. Your overall knowledge of the subject will help you in making the intelligent guesswork, because 50% of the question paper is all about guesswork. So make your own philosophy by looking at the previous year questions rather than looking at me, looking at any other YouTuber teacher, looking at your college professor, senior friends. You must not look or over rely on anyone else. Just believe in your philosophy and try to become self-independent researcher. The third common mistake is that students who are just starting out preparing for UGC-NET in English Literature get into the habit of overthinking. How to start, where to start, the syllabus is huge. It's not even 1 month that you have started preparing and you have started overthinking a lot. Resentfully, someday will happen, you will give up on this particular subject. In the beginning, do anything, close your eyes, go invisible, join a library, anything. Just give 3 to 4 months fully to literature dedicatedly without overthinking. That will keep you stable and help you a lot in the long term. After 4 months, compare your improvement and you will be very thankful that you came this far in just 4 months. So study these English literature subjects without thinking for continuously 4 months. Alright, so the fourth common mistake is directly jumping on the previous year questions without studying the 3 most important subjects: British literature, literary theory and literary criticism. You have to study these 3 subjects first, and after getting some idea about these 3 subjects, you can start approaching previous year questions. You can start making the notes from these 3 subjects from any books. I have already mentioned a lot of books on this YouTube channel. You can take the help of a teacher or you can refer to our study material or anything. First complete these 3 subjects and then you can start approaching the previous year questions. If you study PYQs before studying these subjects, you will find the questions to be very difficult to solve, and that will also going to put a lot of examination fear in you. So start previous year questions after completing these 3 subjects. Alright. next mistake is students are searching for important topics in these three subjects. So it's a big mistake. No teacher can tell you study these topics. The question paper will come from these topics. Literary theory and criticism are not as big as British literature. So you have to study everything in literary theory and literary criticism. There is nothing like important topics. In British literature, there are a lot of works that are repeatedly asked in the NET examination again and again. So you can prepare those works by looking at the previous year questions. But first get an overview of what is British literature by completing the subject from Anglo-Saxon age to postmodernism. After having an overview of everything, you can move to PYQs and figure out the important works to complete. But first get an overview of British literature. So the next mistake is that you are studying paper 2 English literature a lot and ignoring paper 1. This is a mistake done by many students. I have personally talked to many students who got 98 percentile, 99 percentile in literature, but they got only 80 percentile in paper 1. Even though they know that they got less marks, they got less percentile in paper 1. Even though they know that they are not giving enough amount of time on paper 1 in this attempt also. So stop studying literature if you got 98 or 99 percentile and start focusing on paper 1. The same goes for those students who are good in paper 1 but weak in paper 2. So you have to keep balance in both paper 1 and paper 2. It's not like you go study paper 2 extremely and you go very poor in paper 1. It does not work like that. So the seventh mistake is that you have enrolled into a course or you are going to an offline coaching class and now you are over depending on a teacher. Yes, what he or she is teaching in class is not enough. You have to develop the habit of self-study. Even if you go with our study material, you have to study those materials and build the habit of studying every day. We can give you guidance, organized syllabus, organized structure, but at the end it's your journey. You have to self-study 3 to 4 hours every day without over depending on your teachers. Next mistake is that there are students who keep on blaming the reservation system for their failure. Students often argue that they lost out a lot of opportunities due to the allocations of seats to different castes. Students, I'm not saying that reservation system is right. I'm not saying that reservation system is wrong. I'm also from a general category, but personally, I have never doubted my abilities and my potential. That I never doubted about myself, so I never thought about a reservation system. I take full responsibility of my future, and what happens, whether it is good or bad, I am accountable for it without blaming the external factors, because time is the most important resource. How you use your time decides your future. So if you are from unreserved category, you have to drop this idea of saying that you are from this category, you are unfortunate. If it takes 2 times the hard work, do not afraid to do the hard work. Do the 2 times the hard work than a normal student does. Accepting the situation as it is will give you time to think about the possibilities rather than the excuses. And the last mistake is relying hardly on the summaries. Many students fail the examination even after completing all the subjects just because they rely on summaries alone. You can read summaries of all the subjects. In American literature, Indian literature, Caribbean literature, Canadian literature, summaries of the works will do the work, but it will not do the work in British literature. It is not acceptable in British literature. In British literature, you have to go through the details of the often asked works because they have asked passages, dialogues, characters, events, and many things from inside these novels, poems, and dramas. So you have to study at least those works that were there in the previous year questions, detailed in a thoroughly manner in deeply. Just doing the summaries will not do the work. Alright, so remember this point also. So with this we come to the end of this video. I hope you found the video worth your time. I will see you soon in the next video. Let me know your mistakes that you are doing, that you have been experiencing for the past few months, that can help other students as well. Let me know your views in the comment section below. I will see you soon in the next video. That's it for this. Thank you.